I started at 17 and I sold my first website for £100.
So it was during this time that a young Iman Gadzhi reached out to you, right?
Yeah.
So Iman may not admit it, but Jonah was one of his early mentors that absolutely changed the entire trajectory of his career.
I walk into the bathroom where my fiance was with our 1-year-old. He looks up and is like, Dada. I'm like filled with dread. I say, hey, I have lost a job, basically. I think we had like 2 or 3 weeks worth of savings. And I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm going to make sure that it's okay. My first move wasn't agency, affiliates, any of like these cool business models. In my moment of desperation, I guess, I thought, I just need to do anything. So there was no fancy retainers, no big packages, no high ticket stuff.
And now a year later, you're doing about $20,000 a month. You've got a great team, awesome lifestyle, able to hang out with your kids. And all of this is built in the HighLevel ecosystem.
Yeah.
How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to the latest segment on this channel called What's Working, where we talk about what's working right now to sell HighLevel in 2026. If you've been struggling to sell HighLevel directly to local businesses, this one is going to be for you. Not because this is about how to sell to local businesses, but because it's about an entirely different way to go about building your HighLevel business that Jonah has built from 0 to 20K a month in under a year. And what it is whenever there's a big software company like HighLevel, there are agencies that pop up and all they do is assist other people in using the software, whether they build stuff for them, provide consulting, or both. This happens in almost every single software ecosystem. So if you're more of a behind the scenes type of person instead of a salesperson, this offer could be your ticket to 10K a month, simply because it's a lot easier to sell to people who already know the software, understand what it can do for them. They just need someone to build it for them. So Jonah has some awesome strategies on how to get the clients, how to service them. This is a really good one, plus a really cool bonus story about Iman Gadzhi. So see you in there.
Jonah, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
This is great. Long time coming. About a year ago, you got an email or a call, I assume, that you were getting let go from your steady job.
Yep.
And you had no savings.
Nope.
Where had all the savings gone?
We renovated our house.
Okay. So you renovated the house, you lost your job, and then all of a sudden you had no income. And now a year later, you're doing about $20,000 a month. You've got a great team. You've got a awesome lifestyle, able to hang out with your kids. And all of this is built in the HighLevel ecosystem.
Yeah.
This show is going to be for anyone who wants to build something that isn't selling directly to local businesses. Instead, you're going to be kind of like a helper inside of HighLevel's ecosystem, like Jonah is. And he's living proof that even in today's market, you can build a very successful business just serving other HighLevel people. But before we get into the offer and everything and how you built that, I want to spend a little bit of time on your early story, because despite being 27 years old, you have 10 years of experience in the agency space, which is pretty impressive. What's that story? How did you get started so young?
So I started at 17 building websites for people. And I started shortly after being kicked out of secondary school or high school. And I'd been kicked out after a series of now quite funny events, because I decided I just wasn't interested in school. I decided I wanted to work for myself. My next move was building websites for people, which is something I'd already started kind of teaching myself anyway. And I sold my first website for £100.
All right.
For my first client.
Nice.
Which was the first money I'd ever made doing anything. I'd never had a job before. I mean, I was still 17, so I'd just left school.
So how did you find this client?
It was someone that I already knew at the gym I was training at. I decided that I would focus, my niche would be the health and fitness.
Nice.
I already knew people at the gym that were personal trainers and coaches and so on. So it was quite a natural entry point for me.
Nice.
And yeah, just building websites for personal trainers.
And you did that for 5 to 7 years? Like you were doing that for a while, right?
I was building websites specifically for 3 or 4 years, like heavily. And we went from building just websites to, we then had clients asking us for branding, logos and things, which is not something I'd done before. Then our clients continued asking us for now photography, videography, copywriting, etc. And each time a client asked for one of these other services, I would find someone that already did that thing, brought them into the team, and it became an agency. without me even really knowing what an agency was. At the time, there was no one that I was following on social media. There were no that I knew of sort of like agency influencers, or
Yeah.
so I was just literally just on my own, making it up and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
So I was bringing on team members with different expertise and ultimately built out an increasingly long menu of different services that we're able to offer our clients. And about 4 years in, we had more and more clients start to come back to us saying, we love the website that you built. We love the logo. We love the photos, but it hasn't actually helped us grow the business. And we've got no idea why. And so I started to think about that. After it happened several times, I realized that none of these clients had actually changed anything about their marketing. And so they weren't doing anything extra to generate more traffic to send to their really nice website. So that's when I pivoted about 4 years in and started focusing on paid ads and funnel building.
And that's when you found HighLevel.
That's when I found HighLevel. This is 2020.
Okay. How are you getting these clients, and what did you end up like increasing your price to over time for a website and everything?
It was Facebook groups, obviously referrals, word of mouth, etc. Facebook groups, though, has always served me very well. Even now, to be honest, Facebook groups
They're
are
slept on. Dude, every time I make a video about how to farm Facebook groups for clients, I would get all these comments like, oh, all the groups are terrible. Like, I can't get anything to work. It's like, I guarantee you, if you drop me in the middle of the Sahara Desert and all I had was a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection, I could find a Facebook group and get some leads out of it. Just make it work. Ask how you can make it work. I digress. I get very upset about those comments because it's, again, you know how powerful a Facebook group can be.
Yeah.
Speak to that a little bit. What do you do, or what did you do in the Facebook groups then? And then we'll get into what you do now. But back then, was it local ones or like UK fitness entrepreneurs?
Yeah, so it was UK, fitness entrepreneurs. There's always surprisingly large number of different Facebook groups about the same thing. So take HighLevel, for example. There's obviously the main HighLevel Facebook group, but then there's probably 50 or more other HighLevel Facebook groups as well. The mistake that a lot of people make that is really annoying and infuriating for everyone else in the group is just immediately cold DMing everyone else. And so I never did that. Any group I've ever joined, I've always been in there just to try and be a helpful citizen sort of approach. You know, if I'm in there, then I've got the opportunity to start seeing other people's posts and questions and notice when someone has a particular problem about a particular thing that might align with what I can help with. And then it's those posts that I can comment on. Just very simply, I can comment, not sign up to my thing and I'll give you the answer. But just in the comment on the post, just give the most complete, most helpful, most valuable answer that you can, not holding anything back and not asking for anything in return. And if you do that repeatedly over a period of time, you will become known and appreciated for being the guy that can help with this particular thing, whether it's websites, ads, HighLevel, whatever.
You can spam all your offers on your personal page. Absolutely. And when people are like, this guy's so useful, like, what is he? Why? Click on your profile. Oh, here's what he offers.
On my profile, I obviously do talk more about offers, and I have always talked more about offers, but then personal life and just who is this guy? Oh, he's going to the gym, or he's doing this. And know, like, and trust is like an age-old, timeless, foundational piece of advice. Just give people the opportunity to know you, like you, and trust you. I think.
And we're living in a world where 90% of the people commenting on the Facebook posts are no hate to these people, but they don't speak native English, where they have a very strong accent, where they don't understand the culture of the country where the customer or person asking the question is. And they're all saying, just DM me, DM me, DM me. And someone will obviously be exhibiting that they are not from the States or the UK or wherever based on what they're saying. And then you'll click to their profile. It's like, oh, this person lives in New York. Sure. And there's nothing personal about them. They have no posts. They have no, all the stuff is in a different language on their profile. No hate to those people. You need to learn, take notes from Jonah, and you will do much better. Even if you're posting your daily life in whatever country you live in, it's way more relatable, and people are going to reach out and actually want to work with you the more human you seem.
Yeah, absolutely.
when you only have a profile picture and nothing else, and you're saying DM me, you look like a scammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas you look very much like a human.
I hope so.
Yeah. So it was during this time that a young Iman Gadzhi reached out to you, right?
Yeah. So at the time, I'd been running my agency in the very early days for about a year. So it was very new still.
Yeah.
I certainly wasn't making loads and loads of money, certainly wasn't massively successful, but I was running an agency, and I was one of very few, and I didn't even know of any other people. I'm sure there were others, but so I'll say I was one of very few people of my age doing anything in the online space. And I had a message from some random person on Instagram that I hadn't heard of before, asking to meet up for a coffee in London. I was living not too far from London at the time, and it was Iman. And I was like, yeah, cool. This is like the first other person I've ever even heard of that has got any interest in anything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
This is really cool. Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to go and just hang out and chat and talk about agency stuff and clients and so on. So we did, and we met up. And this, I think Iman was at the time had been perhaps doing his thing for a similar length of time to me, or maybe a bit
Yeah,
less.
I feel like that would check out on timeline. And
There you go.
what did you guys talk about? Do you remember?
Yeah, so I was doing a lot of one-offs.
Mhm.
Iman was starting to do well with retainer-based services, and I thought, oh, that'd be really nice. So that was something that I took away. Iman was asking about how I was finding my clients so far, how I was positioning our services. I think, if I remember correctly, he was quite interested in project-based stuff. Like, he was already doing well with retainers, and if I remember correctly, he was interested in the possibility of, oh, actually, we could potentially do project-based stuff as well. So we were both bouncing off each other there, both enjoying what we were both doing, talking about finding our first clients, keeping and servicing clients, whether or not we had team members doing different things. So it was all very early days sorts of conversations.
Nice.
And I met up with Iman several more times, following that. There was different events and things that he was doing the videography for. Like, Iman, I think if you go back far enough on his Instagram or YouTube, he makes it known that he started doing videography and operating a camera and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was at some of those events where he was doing that.
Yeah. And slowly you kind of lost touch, I assume.
Yeah, we've exchanged messages a few times over the years. I don't expect him to necessarily.
Yeah. He's busy running shirtless in Cape Town.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's always got a strange car following him.
So Iman may not admit it, but Jonah was one of his early mentors that absolutely changed the entire trajectory of his career. That's going to be the thumbnail for this video. Iman Gadzhi's early mentor.
Iman's mentor.
Secret mentor that nobody knows.
I would not go that far.
So take me to the point where you decided to get a job, kind of shut down the agency, and then losing that job shortly after.
I've been running the agency for about 7 years. We found out about my fiance becoming pregnant, which was very exciting. I was feeling extremely stretched and spread very thin, despite also having a team in place. And I thought, we've got a baby on the way. I need to be providing for the family. And do I really see this exact thing that I'm doing right now being the thing that I want to depend on and rely on? And I thought, I'm actually not 100% convinced. Even though we still had clients, still had team members, on paper doing fine.
I think you were probably doing the math of like, how much energy mentally and physically will I have to devote to the child?
Yeah.
And like, more than the money. It was like, I don't know what you were making, but let's call it 10K a month for the amount of work and effort and everything. It just wasn't balancing with the new math of having a kid.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's you've articulated it better than I have done before. But yeah, that's really what it boiled down to. The money was fine. It was just the stress and the work and the time.
Yeah.
I didn't.
It's funny because
see that working.
I think there's two kinds of people in the world. There's one, like you and I are very similar this way. I was even more like 5 years before I had a kid. I was like, I'm probably gonna have a kid in 5 years. I better start a business. Like, I'm not gonna be able to, like, I don't want to work a job when I have a kid.
No.
And you did that math beforehand, but I know plenty of people was like, they don't really wake up to the trade-offs until like the kid's quite a bit older.
Mhm.
And I think it's much harder to start once the baby is actually in the world and
Yeah.
in your life because of, I mean, obvious reasons, but also the risk is more staring you right in the face.
Mhm.
So if anybody's listening to this and your partner is pregnant or about to be pregnant, or you're the one that's, you know, pregnant or about to be pregnant, start now.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
there's nothing like speaking from experience, there's nothing like a 9-month ticking clock to get you to like
Ticking
get your
time
shit
bomb.
together.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what it was for me. And it was during that time that I received an email from a company called Extendly, which in the high level space, a lot of people perhaps have heard of. I refer to them as being like Pepsi and Coca-Cola.
Sure.
Of
They do
the,
white label support. So
yeah,
they will onboard your clients, help do their A2P if they have tech questions. They have a 24/7 support desk that will answer those questions on your behalf. They end up doing a lot of coaching of agency owners because there's a lot of new people that sign up for HighLevel and don't know what they're doing, don't know how to set stuff up. And so Extendly is kind of like a premium support option for yourself that you can bring in as well.
I had an email from Extendly saying we're hiring. So I click on the button, fill out the application form, which felt really strange because I'm thinking back to me being kicked out of school and I'm like, I'm never having a job, screw
Yeah.
this, and I'm running my own business. But I thought, no, you know, that's, even if it is, that's not what's most important. We've got a baby on the way, need to provide for the family. I'm not 100% convinced that what I'm currently doing is necessarily the right thing to provide. And so I start in January of 2024 as a customer success agent. My role was working with the agency owners directly, helping them get HighLevel set up. During my time at Extendly, I coached and supported over 1,000 other agencies on the platform and just had a huge exposure to people all over the place, like new agencies, existing agencies, people globally.
So you do that for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then tell me about the day you got fired.
I was basically just called into like a Zoom, basically, with my manager's manager. He basically said, unfortunately, this is your last day. We're needing to let you go. He explained that we're pivoting, we're focusing on different services, we're not needing as much coverage in like certain time zones. I was in the UK, so my time zone wasn't like super helpful for most of their clients. I couldn't argue with anything that they said, and I was like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
You know, that's the end of a good stint, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked out of what is my office at home into our bathroom where my fiance was with our 1-year-old at the time, who was in the bath. And he's playing and splashing and having a great time. I walk into the bathroom and he looks up and is like, Dada, Dada, is happy to see me. And I'm like filled with dread.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know what to say or how I'm going to tell my fiance that I've lost the job.
Mm-hmm.
But I say, hey, I have lost the job, basically. and her eyes just like well up. And she's like, why? Like, what's happened? And also, what are we going to do? So I explain, like, nothing happened, and I don't know what we're going to do, but somehow I'm going to make sure that it's okay. But the reality of the situation was that we had just finished renovating our house, so our savings were as low as they'd ever been.
Yeah.
We had just put a deposit down for our wedding venue, which didn't help. Our income was now nothing. We've got a mortgage to pay and all the usual bills that obviously everyone pays for. Genuinely no idea what the next move was going to be or what even next month was going to look like. I think we had like 2 or 3 weeks worth of savings. So it was a real situation where by this time next month, if something isn't working, like, we're in trouble. I log into Facebook groups, and before I start posting in Facebook groups, the actual first thing I did was started messaging a few people I kind of already knew or I knew of. My first move wasn't agency. It wasn't affiliate. It wasn't any of like these cool business models. In my moment of desperation, I guess, I thought I just need to do anything. So there was no like fancy retainers, no big packages, no high ticket stuff. It's just I can come in and contract for you for like $20 an hour. What I decided to do was just do as many paid hours as possible each day. It was on top of that I was then engaging in Facebook groups as well.
So what was the Facebook group strategy?
It is one that I've actually been complimented on a couple of times. Because I hadn't seen anyone else doing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the idea came from either. First and foremost was going into the Facebook group each day and just answering as many questions as I could.
You're prolific in your
Yes.
commenting.
Prolific. Did you see the comment?
What?
Did you see some of my comments?
Oh yeah. I think it must have been around that time. If you're very consistent in the HighLevel Facebook group and you're like me where you have that group at the top of your feed,
Yeah.
like you will show up.
Yeah.
Like everybody's seen your face if they've been in that group.
Yeah.
Because you comment on almost every single post every day.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was strategy 1. What was strategy 2?
I started taking one of the questions each day. I would start recording and I would say, hey guys, in this video today, I'm going to be answering Keaton's question about fill in the blank, workflows, like whatever. And I had the question actually on screen whilst doing that little intro.
Smart.
And then I would just change my tab over into HighLevel and I would answer the question. I would show whatever it was that they're asking about. And sometimes it would be like quite complex stuff. I would do one of those videos every single day as well and post it in the Facebook group. And this is not just in the main Facebook group, but just whichever group the question was posted in. So I'm like in all of the HighLevel groups doing the same thing and post it as its own post. So I upload the video. There's no call to action, no promotion, no offer, no links, nothing. It's literally just, here's Keaton's question or whoever. Here's the complete answer in video form, showing you step by step exactly what it is.
Love it.
Post it as its own standalone post in the group. Put a link to my post as a comment on their post and tag them in my post as well. And did that repeatedly every day.
What a way to build a brand.
Yeah.
I always tell people, demonstrate expertise. Like I sound like a broken record in my community. So like demonstrate expertise, demonstrate expertise. Nobody wants to buy from you because they don't know that you are an expert. Using that term loosely, like compared to the HVAC company owner or the plumber, you are an expert in XYZ thing, even if you've only been doing it for a month.
Yeah.
So figure out how to demonstrate that to them. So when they look at it, they're like, either, I can do this myself, but 99% of the time they're just like, I'm going to reach out to him and just have him take care of this.
The way that I simplify that down when I'm talking to people about it is you first of all need to know the thing, whatever that may be. Websites, workflows, ads. You need to know the thing. And then other people need to know that you know the thing.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
I love that.
And so I was in a position where I knew the thing.
Yeah.
I had my own agency for a long time. I'd been using HighLevel for a number of years. I worked at Extendly and it helped 1,000 other agencies with all the same stuff.
Yeah.
I had a vast amount of experience with the thing. Now I'm unemployed and no one knows that I know the thing.
Yeah.
And so my strategy was just relentlessly putting myself out there.
Yes.
Doing these posts, doing these videos, commenting on everything, letting people know and demonstrating repeatedly every single day, all day.
And this has been a theme in like almost every single podcast or video I've done in the last like 6 months. There's this bridge, especially in the quote unquote trust recession. I hate that term, but we're in a trust recession, let's call it. People are at an all-time high in terms of skepticism that you can actually take care of them. And so when you take them from, I need this problem done, which first of all, somebody posting in a Facebook group that they have a problem is that's a much hotter prospect than you DMing every med spa in your city.
Yeah.
And then you need this bridge where you demonstrate that expertise, you help them know that you know the thing. And that could be one video. If you put that bridge video in, you can get to 500,000 a month. Did a recent podcast on my channel where that was the exact strategy. He had 39 no-shows in a row or something like that. And then the minute he put in this bridge video, everybody started closing. What do you know? They started showing up. What do you know? They wanted to buy from him. And part of it's because they think you're a tech wizard because you can make a video and put it online. Like I think that's half of it. It's like, wow. I want to touch on the hourly work you were doing as well. Because I have a few people in mind, like from my community, they'll post me like, oh, I'm overwhelmed, or like I haven't closed anyone recently or whatever. And I'm like, how helpful would it be for these people if they just DM'd a few agencies that were getting customers and they built that stuff out for them? They could just get their feet wet and they're getting paid to do it instead of doing it for free, or sometimes paying to do it. How would you go about getting those gigs if you're like familiar with HighLevel, but you don't have the vast amount of experience that you do?
For me, I reached out to people that I already knew of, people that were quite kind of prominent in the space. So I had like a little bit of an edge there.
Yeah.
But you want to try and identify who the people are in your immediate proximity.
And if you don't know these people, you can just go look at the award winners from last year.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyone that's
for sure.
gold, silver, platinum, or whatever they're called, probably has some money to pay you as a contractor.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think there's a lot to be said for reaching out and actually not trying to pitch when actually all you're looking for and all you really need is just a gig that's going to pay you per hour.
Yeah.
Then reach out and say that. And I think for me, that was actually helpful in standing out at least a little bit amongst all the other DMs they probably get.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is actually just a real normal person. That's an easy thing to say yes to.
Yeah, guys, if you're listening to this and you've been like really struggling to get clients, even if you just completely give up on the local business side of things for a while and go serve people in the HighLevel ecosystem for 6 months, your confidence is going to go way up. You're going to learn from how these people are selling. You're going to learn what people are actually using, and you're going to probably be able to poke around in those accounts a little bit and really learn the real world application of this instead of theorizing about the 5,000 features that you could sell.
Yeah.
You're just actually fulfilling 1 or 2 offers that are working right now. So how long was that for you, that period of working the hourly jobs, Facebook grouping every single day, all day?
Yeah.
And I guess the baby was already here at this point, so you didn't have a deadline, but how were you thinking of that period of like, I want to get out of this as soon as possible, I'll stay here forever? And how did the transition work?
Beginning of July through to the end of October, where I'd gotten myself so busy with all this contracting work for other people, doing as many paid hours as I could each day, plus all the commenting, plus the videos. I was editing the video, posting the video, interacting with people, responding to messages, and I was doing long days and I'm exhausted. So I was literally waking up at like 5 or 6 a.m., but then I would be working through until like 9 or 10 p.m., which was not normal. And it was because of that, after a few months of doing that, by the end of October, I'm really exhausted, to be honest, and I'm stressed and I am paying the bills, and that's a good thing. But again, I'm thinking, can I do this forever? I don't think so. I'm not sure I can even do this for another like couple of weeks, really. And by that point, I had built up my so one of the ways that I make a little bit of money is through HighLevel's affiliate program, which is not the main way I make money. But by that point, I'd built up about $900 in my like affiliate dashboard. I saw that money in there and I thought, you know what? It's not a lot of money, but it's enough money for me to be able to do about $900 less contracting next month.
Nice.
And so I knew that money was going to be paid out in the middle of November, and it's currently the end of October. And so I thought, I've got 2 weeks here where I know this money's coming in. I can cut back on some of the contracting. I can buy back about 40 to 50 hours of my time, and I can commit that time to setting up my own community, starting the daily calls. I can spend a bit more time pursuing higher value opportunities, some custom build outs, so high ticket items. And so that's what I did. So going into November was the pivotal month for me, where I was able to do less of the contracting, more of my own stuff, and start heading in this slightly different direction that I felt just much more excited about, to be honest.
Okay, so for those who don't know, the way that Jonah got to $900 in affiliate commission, HighLevel has an affiliate program where if you refer people to the platform or if you get them to upgrade using your link to the next tier, you get a piece of that. So this is not like a pyramid scheme thing. This is not endless levels of people underneath you. It's just you get a piece of what they're paying HighLevel every month, and HighLevel likes that because, let's face it, their support team is not incredibly helpful if you have a like strategy question or sometimes even basic tech questions. And so these affiliates kind of act as a de facto support team for people and how they run their businesses every single day. So if I'm going from 97 to 297, I use Jonah's link. Jonah gets something like $60 a month
Yeah.
of that. And in exchange, they get some resources. And this is a totally viable way to
Yeah.
build up some MRR just from posting in Facebook groups and being helpful.
Yeah.
And the majority of your people like that you have on now are just upgrades, right? You don't really
Yeah.
have like a ton of new signups.
No, and my affiliate managers actually asked me to try and start generating more new signups, and I'm just like, at the moment, it's just not.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I've never tried promoting HighLevel to anyone
Yeah.
that isn't already on the platform. So I think it's like 82% of all of my affiliate revenue is purely just from people upgrading existing accounts.
Nice.
And the benefit to that is like the churn's really low, and it's people that are already sold on like the whole business model and everything.
Yeah.
So it's all just upgrades.
Yeah. So how did you think about this community that you set up? You were when I saw your offer stack, because I think the post was like, we have a call every single day. Basically, I'm your bitch. You can ask me any question anytime. Like you were meaningfully differentiating yourself from people like me who just have too many people in my community to kind of give that level of support. Yeah. So how did you come up with that, and how have you seen that play out over the last 6 months or so?
Sure. So I have to say the plan was to differentiate myself from the big affiliates.
Yeah.
And it was very intentional, to be honest, because I thought I need to lean into whatever I have to offer.
Yeah.
I cannot position myself as being one of the big affiliates that has won like lots of these different awards and made loads of money. That's not who I am. That's not what I've done. And that's not what I'm bringing to the table. Who I am and what I have done is I've run my own agency for a long time. I've served 1,000+ other agencies at Extendly. I just know the platform well. I've seen so many people use it in all these different ways. One of the compliments I get sometimes, not all the time at all, but people have said that I'm very like servant-hearted, I think is the term. I'm very driven just to help. I really enjoy and get a lot out of like just genuinely sitting down and helping someone.
Yeah.
That's something that does drive me.
Yeah.
And so I thought I can put a community together. I can start doing these calls, and I can position myself as someone that has seen what you're trying to do before countless of times, and I can just sit down and help you do it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it is that I'm bringing to the table. And if I can increase the perceived value of that, leaning on Alex Hormozy, if I can increase the perceived value by saying I'm going to show up to Zoom every single day, immediately for the big affiliates that might do a call every month or every week or something, immediately that's like, so much more perceived value. I can get on the Zoom with this guy that knows what I'm trying to do and has done it 100 times before every day of the week, and he's going to help me.
Yeah.
No brainer.
Yeah. I remember referring a couple people to you because they were like, I need this. I'm in the UK. I have like all of these questions, and I need someone that's just going to sit down with me and like walk through everything step by step. And I'm like, I physically can't with everyone. So you should probably just go with Jonah.
Yeah.
And I think,
that.
well, it's great. Like, this is the genius. This ecosystem exists with every big software company. There's HubSpot agencies that will do a build out for you, or management, Pipedrive, Zoho. It doesn't matter what it is. The software company gets big enough. There's a whole ecosystem under it of people making money, helping people with the software. And the genius of the HighLevel side is that the affiliate thing is baked in so that people can get that for free. And if they obviously are needing something that's like kind of beyond the scope of just an affiliate relationship, they can pay more.
Yeah.
But it just allows really normal people like you and me to come in, provide really normal levels of value for like what it is, but it to the people who are brand new to the software, it's like it's life-changing for them.
Yeah, it's unheard of.
So the rest of your revenue, most of that 20K a month, is from selling build outs or other essentially like button clicking services inside of HighLevel. What was the first one that you sold? How did it come about? And then how have you systematized that over time?
But one of the earliest ones was for a guy based in the UK as well. And so he had this vision of, I want to use HighLevel for me today. I need a system for me to use. And then I like the model of reselling and white label agency type stuff. So that was his plan. And so he came to me. He'd seen me in Facebook groups. He'd seen me commenting
Yeah.
ferociously on everyone's posts. And at the time, that was just me on my own. So I say we now because now I've got a team.
And what did you charge for that one, if you can say?
In the region of like $4,000 or $5,000, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
decent ticket prices on these.
Yeah.
Because they're valuable to people.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, I saw a post about this the other day, but like snapshots, out of the box snapshots are, they're becoming commoditized. Like everybody has one.
Yeah.
And whenever someone in my community comes to me and says, hey, like, do you have a snapshot for XYZ niche? I'm like, no, because it would just be bullshit because I know nothing about XYZ niche. HighLevel has some that are like, I mean, it's like the pet groomer snapshot. Like, it's a pet groomer website and like all the same automations, like slightly customized to pet groomer. So sure, you can download that one, but it's going to be much more worth your time to spend 10 to 20 hours really understanding the software. And then you can just build like version 1 simple.
I recommend the exact same thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
But my recommendation is instead of buying a snapshot like that, if you know ultimately what you're looking for, then I take it as an opportunity to build it yourself and use that building it yourself process to learn the platform.
Yeah, literally, I say pull up 2 tabs. If you have a snapshot from your affiliate or from
whoever
somewhere else, you put it here and then you put it here, and you literally have to click all the buttons yourself because otherwise you will be walking around with low-level anxiety because you have no idea what's going on inside that account.
Yeah.
Okay, so you sell this first snapshot. Did you kind of see, okay, this is the path forward from there? Were you still doing the contracting jobs? What's the current iteration of it and how'd you get there?
I was still doing the contracting roles at the time. So the contracting roles phased out, had a little bit of income from the affiliate stuff. And now I had this bump up from this, first couple of projects.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I thought at that point, I can now see a way out of the contracting completely.
Yeah.
If I could keep doing this, then brilliant. Like this is the way forward. At the time, it was just me, taking on these projects, and I was charging basically however many hours I thought the project might take, multiplied by a much better hourly rate, roughly $100 an hour, which is much nicer than 20.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I was pricing things, to be honest. Current iteration of that now is we're a team of about 6 or 7 including me, 6 other people. I've got 3 implementation and documentation specialists.
Nice.
Is the name of the role. So they do a lot of the heavy lifting. They're really responsible for like the actual builds themselves. I'm now responsible for generating the business and bringing in new clients. And I've got a guy now as well that actually oversees a lot of the actual client management, project management as well. Now, as of the last few months, mostly removed myself in every sort of significant way from the client fulfillment. And my team tease me for showing up to the client fulfillment meetings that we do twice a week, just to ask questions. Like I've got nothing to add, got nothing to contribute. I just ask questions and I'm like, why is it that we're doing this?
Yeah.
But I do get teased now for just showing up and not necessarily knowing the ins and outs of everything we're doing.
And some of these are not like one-off projects, right? You have a retainer offer as well.
Yeah, so we do one-off projects and retainer. So the retainer is really suited to agencies or businesses, although it's typically agencies that have got a conveyor belt of projects and problems regularly. And so we get them onto a retainer instead of quoting them for each individual thing that comes through. And that retainer includes up to a certain number of implementation hours each month.
Nice.
So it's a mid-ticket retainer, typically $2,000 to $3,000 a month. It includes between 40 to 60 hours of implementation time a month.
Nice.
And basically, it's a case of you have a new client, a new account to set up, a snapshot to build, problems to fix, troubleshooting to do. Give it to us. We can take it on. We can do that. And the way that I've positioned that is the middle ground between hiring just an expensive expert on their own that might be charging $100 to $150 an hour, like a much more premium rate, which is what I was doing, versus hiring just a VA directly that you're then responsible for managing and overseeing and so on.
Yeah.
So our retainers work out if you use up all of the hours, it basically works out to around $50 an hour,
Nice.
which is more expensive than a VA.
Mm-hmm.
It's cheaper than what I would otherwise be charging just if I
Yeah.
was on my own. And you have the benefit of a team of people,
Yeah.
plus the project management and the oversight and the strategy
Yeah.
from me and Mike, who's the guy that oversees a lot of our client fulfillment now.
Nice. Yeah. There's this pocket in the market of, again, taking the mental load and actually taking it off so that I can implicitly trust the team that I have.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more expensive, but it's the right move for somebody whose time is not best spent babysitting a virtual assistant that can't actually troubleshoot, can only follow instructions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the need for this, guys, is so big. Like I always say, HighLevel last we heard HighLevel has between like 100 and 130,000 users. I would estimate maybe 10,000 of those actually know how to click the button. And like most, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit higher, but it's not the business owner most of the time. It's not the person whose credit card is on file. It's somebody on their team.
Yeah.
And the amount of stories of people who are like, I was working at this company. They asked me to find something that could do XYZ with automation or AI. So I found HighLevel. I learned HighLevel. Then I left that company and started my own agency. The average business owner does not have the time or desire to figure this type of thing out. And so you coming in, especially to even agencies who supposedly are technical, but just don't have the time to do it. The value is there. And going back to the very beginning of your story where the websites weren't actually helping people with their business at all, this is like direct impact ROI, but it's a different type of ROI where the $50 an hour that they're paying you effectively is actually making them $300 to $1,000 to $2,000 an hour, depending on how much time their work time is worth.
Yeah. And has even helped save client relationships as well. You know, we've had some of the agencies that we've worked with have come to us with like 911 situations where client is about to leave or cancel or projects out the window, unless we can solve this one thing immediately, or even like a variety of things that are all conflicting with each other. Like these workflows are doing this and firing off all kinds of stuff we can't keep track of. And got this fire happening over here. A relationship that the agency has with their client. It's not our client, but we're coming in and we can be the ones to save the day internally for the agency to make them look good.
Yeah.
And
Very cool.
then their client's like, oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily know it is even us.
Yeah.
Now, we don't specifically try and white label our service necessarily, but we very much work just in the background and directly with the agency owners and the agency's team. And so we've had some of those situations as well.
So I have a question that's a bit of a controversial question.
Oh dear.
I want to get your take on it. I think that white label support is bullshit for 99% of people.
Yeah, I think it can be for sure.
So let me explain what I mean. Average person finds HighLevel, and the dream that they're sold is you're going to sell white label CRM. You're going to be a software company owner with your own brand, your own logo, enterprise level software, and you're going to be able to go sell it and you're going to crush it. So people spend all this time white labeling their HighLevel. They change the colors, they change the logo, they have their website, they like fancy everything up. And then it comes time to get customers and they're like, oh, what do? I don't have any customers. Oh, I better go sign up. Like I need a white label support company support all the customers that I'm going to bring on, because obviously this thing is just going to go gangbusters once I release it into the world. And then all of a sudden nobody's signing up and they're paying for this white label support company. And even if a client comes on board and they're like, cool, I'm going to pass them to the white label support company, they're not. The offer that was sold, well, it depends on what the offer that was sold. So let's say it's the white label, let's say it's a CRM, like you're signing up for essentially like a Podium or a Weave, but it's my version of HighLevel. And XYZ small business owner logs in, they're like, cool, well, there's nothing in here for me. So like, how do I use this? So they can engage the white label support company, but really they're going to realize that they don't have time to set it up. And then everybody lost in that situation. And the thing that pisses me off the most about all of this is that most people should not be selling a CRM at all. The business owner probably shouldn't even be logging into the desktop app at all, unless it's like a dental clinic where they have to like click and respond to the leads and stuff. But most of the time, the offers that are actually selling are the least maintenance and are the easiest to sell and fulfill and that beginners should be focusing on have nothing to do with the business owner logging into a software and engaging a white label support company to get their number verified. Like as a beginner, you should be taking care of all of that.
Yeah.
They don't have to see anything, maybe the lead connector app on their phone, but that's it.
I think for a lot of people, the starting point, to your point, is to sell what I refer to as like a foot in the door offer.
Yeah.
Which would be really easy to set up, really easy to maintain, maybe even like no maintenance potentially. And that's easy to sell, easy to fulfill, really no support needed necessarily.
Yeah.
And and I've seen this so many times during my time at Extendly and now since I've left, is people coming in with all these, huge ideas around really complex systems and workflows and snapshots and things they want to take to the market. And all that ends up happening is they spend months and months actually building it. So they're paying HighLevel for maybe 6 months by the time anything gets taken to market.
Yeah.
And then they have Extendly, for example, or similar company in to provide the support and the onboarding and everything. It's almost as if they spend all this time and money getting everything in place and forget about the most important thing, which is just have something that you can sell to someone.
Yeah.
And my little motto that I've used hundreds of times now is to launch something simple sooner. When I share that with people, I typically share it when they're in the middle of explaining some really complex idea that they have. And they're like, oh, I've got this really great idea to do this, and all these workflows and everything. And I'm like, you just need to launch something simple sooner. Take one piece of this, splinter it out into its own standalone thing that might, for example, be just reputation management.
Yeah.
Or it might be just like a speed to lead mechanism.
Yeah.
And take that to market on its own first. Give yourself the opportunity to actually get in front of people with a real thing for the first time and get some people signed up. Make it easier for yourself to set it up, easier for them to use it. You don't really necessarily need any support at this point.
Yeah.
And you can then get some wind in your sails. And then with wind in your sails and with some momentum, you can then, if you want to, carry on building the rest of everything else you have in mind. But don't try and get all of everything in place first before you take your first step.
It reminds me, this guy's coming on the podcast next week, but we were like pre-gaming for the podcast yesterday. And he's like, he sells people on the initial cold call. He collects the
nice
credit card while he's calling them. And he sells to home service. And 99% of people selling to home service make this mistake. The outreach, the conversation, then they book a Zoom call. And the Zoom call is where they sell them. And then, or supposedly are supposed to sell them. But show rates are abysmal, especially in home service, because these guys, like I went in person and sold a like database reactivation of reviews. So getting these people more reviews. It took the guy 20 minutes to log into his computer. And the only reason he did it is because I was standing in his office. And he's like, I don't know the password. Oh, I'm going to log into this. And so it's just like, we're all sitting there twiddling our thumbs, like waiting for him to log in, get everything up and running.
Nice.
And instead, what this guy does, Ballin, who's coming on the podcast, he's like, I just explain, like I literally narrate, oh, I'm on Google Maps, I'm searching this up. Oh, you're not here, you're not on the first page, I'm going to go to the next page, are you here? No. And he's like, they're in physical pain hearing how low they are down on Google Maps. And then he's like, okay, we can take care of this. This is what we do. We have a system. Very high level overview. Pull out your credit card right now. You're on a roof. You're under a cabinet fixing a sink. Like, let's just take care of it now. And that approach, as opposed to what everybody is trying to do, like sell a full service CRM to a plumber with 5 employees, like, good luck. Good luck.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. I hope that this narrative just comes crashing down. I'm trying to contribute to it. Because it makes me sick. I love both the founders of the like 2 main white label support companies, amazing people, but I have a hunch that the reason their businesses are viable is because the usage on the white label support is so low. Like so many people sign up thinking they're going to sign up all these customers and then they just like don't. And so they're like 5% of their customers are actually using the majority of the team base.
Yeah.
That's what my hunch would be.
I think I can share it.
I think you might be the most qualified person too.
Cool. Okay. I have a checklist which I've produced for my community. I give it for
Yeah.
free for anyone that wants it. And it's basically the 7-step process, which sounds extremely like fake guru straight away. The
Yeah.
7-step process. The very last one, the
Mhm.
7th step, is outsourcing tech support and onboarding. Yeah. The 6th step is getting your first clients.
Yeah.
And then there's steps 1 through to 5 as well.
Yeah. Say the 1 through 5.
So the first one is setting up your account.
Mhm.
So signed up to HighLevel for the first time. What do I do?
Yeah.
The very basics of plugging stuff in and turning it on. So
Yeah.
connecting Stripe, Whitelabel domain, not spending hours choosing your colors and
Yeah.
logos and everything, but the basic setup.
Yeah.
Then it is identifying your offer and audience. So what am I going to do and who am I going to do it for, basically?
Beautiful.
Then it is setting up your agency snapshot.
Nice.
And what should that consist of,
Mhm.
which is a lot simpler than what a lot of people think it should be.
Mhm.
That could be just one funnel and a small handful of workflows. The funnel should be able to take payments and for people to be able to book calls with you.
Nice.
And then you want to have the workflows in place to support both of those things.
Yeah. Appointment
So-
reminders and payment reminders. or
Reschedules,
whatever,
reschedule workflows, no-show workflows, payment success, payment failed,
Yeah.
the basic. Then you want to set up your client snapshot.
Mhm.
So what is the thing I'm going to then actually give to people? And then it talks about like mapping. We can talk about this, is like mapping that out and how to go ahead and build it. Number 5 is then actually setting up the SaaS configurator in HighLevel. So you've got your agency sub account, you've got your client snapshot sub account, then you're piecing that together basically, so that when someone pays for the thing on your website, it gives them the client snapshot that you've built. Number 6 is then actually going ahead and finding your first clients.
Yeah.
Number 7 is then outsourcing tech support and onboarding.
Yeah. Which would probably come after you've had like 10 clients, to be honest.
Yeah, I think on the checklist it says like 3 to 5.
Yeah.
But 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And by the way, guys, that's like in a perfect world if you're going to follow step by step, and that's great. But you can also like literally get a Venmo payment or a Revolut payment.
Yeah.
And just set up everything manually. It's not as nice because it's going to take you like manual 1 to 2 hours probably after you close the client.
Yeah.
But if you do some of that out of order, it's totally fine.
Mhm.
But eventually you want that set up for when you do consistently have a way to close clients.
Yeah.
And then you can set up the account in seconds instead of hours.
When I was at Extendly on the customer success team, I was privy to things like churn rates and cancellations. And the reasons that people would cancel
Yeah.
was not, I'm unhappy with the service,
Yeah.
or I don't like Extendly, or Jonah's really weird, or like whatever. It was simply not having enough clients.
Yeah.
Was the number one reason
Yeah.
by far that anyone ever canceled the
Yeah.
service.
And can you make that point earlier about like the white label obsession of staying 100% white label versus what actually matters in real life?
In the HighLevel space where white label is positioned as being like a really nice selling point, like you can white label HighLevel. This is something that people really like, the idea of being able to do. Like, oh, I can put my own logo on it, put my own name on there, have my own domain name, is nice. And so that flows through to service providers like Extendly, for example, whereby because I've white labeled my software, I want that experience and that branding to kind of follow through everything else that I do as well.
Yeah.
And so service providers like Extendly put a lot of effort into maintaining this white labeled experience. And I think they do a really good job of it. However, having been on the inside of that, I know how much effort goes into being white labeled as what is effectively an external service provider.
Yeah.
It's easier to white label your own stuff within your own business. That's fine. But if you're bringing in an external service provider of any sort and you want them to white label as well, and especially if they're doing the white labeling for like thousands of customers, the effort and the infrastructure and the attention to detail that you need to actually be able to white label at scale for everyone all the time is insane. It's an awful lot of work that goes into being able to do that. all for the, in my opinion, seemingly trivial benefit of I want my logo on there when people see it.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's just not like the most important thing.
Well, it's cart before the horse. You're like, everybody's dressing up like they own a software. It's like, bro, you don't own a software. You resell a software.
Yeah.
And that is totally fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
If you want to start a real software company, like go start one.
Yeah.
But don't pretend that we're here having a real software company. Even the biggest high level white labels, people know that it's high level.
Mhm.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like Funnel Gorgeous, which is they have 2,500 sub accounts. She spoke at Level Up like 3 or 4 years ago. And she was like, people will literally post in our Facebook group, should I sign up with HighLevel, Funnel Gorgeous, or ClickFunnels? Which one? Like, and they know that it's HighLevel.
Yeah.
And so if you want to sell like at scale a real SaaS, you need an audience, like full stop. You need an audience, or you need a way to get people through paid ads, which 99% of beginners don't.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to do. And so most beginners are just starting out thinking they're going to get there, when in reality they should be selling something completely different. And it should be as simple as humanly possible. Because when you throw in 100 features, guess what? You have to support 100 features. But when you do one thing really well, you can support that one thing. I'm gonna lead this crusade. Maybe you can join me. Convince everyone, or change the initial narrative that people come into this world with to, you're gonna sell a single feature of this very comprehensive software. And I promise you that's going to make your life way better.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you've got this business that you're closing like a consistent amount of people on now, but it wasn't always that way. You had quite a few like failed closes on these build out projects specifically. And then you found something that really helped with that, right? So what was that?
Yeah.
And how does it work?
The one word answer is mapping.
Okay.
And the problems I was facing before introducing mapping was I was having discovery calls with people. They would explain what it is they're looking for and the problems they're having with the platform and what kind of help they need. And I'd say, cool, great, I can help with that. Let me go away from this call and put together a proposal for you. And then we'll have another call when I've got the proposal to talk about the proposal.
Yeah.
And they'd say, cool, fine.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what I think a lot of people probably expect.
Yeah.
It's not like wildly unusual or obviously bad,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what I was doing. And I was finding more and more often, I was saying that exact same thing. The second call didn't happen. They didn't show up, or they did show up and it took like much more convincing to actually get them to sign up.
Yeah.
And this was in the lead up to our wedding. So I mentioned, in my story where I lost the job, we put the deposit down on the wedding. And this is when I'm going through this rocky patch of selling these custom builds. I'm like, I need to sell a couple of these custom builds to finish paying for our wedding.
Yeah.
And I'm having a really hard time doing it. What I implemented was this mapping process. And that was the thing that really helped, because instead of going from the discovery call where they explain some of their problems and then I go and do a proposal and then I try and sell them on the proposal, on the discovery calls become a lot simpler, because all I need to determine is, do you need a custom project? If the answer is yes, let's immediately book in a mapping session for like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Basically. Sometimes the answer was no. Sometimes they just want access to the community. Sometimes they just want some consulting. So it wasn't a given that the answer would always be yes.
Yeah.
But if that is the direction that we're going in and that's what they're looking for, let's do a mapping session tomorrow, and we'll spend an hour on Zoom and we'll map out visually the whole thing that you want to have built. And they've been really powerful, those mapping sessions. And funnily enough, we still go from the mapping session to do a proposal and so on. But the level of conviction that they have at that point, having done the mapping session, is just like through the roof. Because the differentiator is, not only do they think that you know what you're doing, because people coming to me, they're like, oh, I've seen your comments, I know that you know HighLevel really well. These are the same people that would compliment me and say clearly like, you're the best in the world at this potentially. Not that I am, but these are people that already think highly of me and are warm leads, but still struggling to sell. Having done the mapping session, they get to the end of the mapping session and they now think that you understand what they need better than they do.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Because the proposals I was putting together, I think in hindsight, basically just reiterating the stuff we discussed on the discovery call. So it's talking about the right things, but it's just not landing in quite the right way. They're not completely convinced that you really understand
Yeah.
the intricacies of how this is going to be implemented into their business. Whereas the mapping session, you go through all this whole process, and they now realize that you understand it better than they do, and you've surfaced things that they'd never even thought of.
Nice.
And so the conviction is now just
Nice.
cranked up all the way.
And I think the key piece there is you get them to pay you for the mapping session too, right?
Yeah.
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 So the micro, like the first sale is just to sell, what is it, $100 for the
So
mapping?
$250.
$250 for the mapping, which is valuable in and of itself. And you can say, you can take this to any service provider and have them build it.
Yeah.
But it's like the same concept of a low ticket to a high ticket.
So these are the two paths that the two entry points into working with us.
Okay.
Is a mapping session. If they do not have a system already built in HighLevel, we'll map it out first. That gives us the context we need to put together a proposal rather than just guessing or just telling you the same stuff you've already told us on the discovery. There's no extra value in that. Or we'll do an audit if there is.
Yeah.
And we charge the $250 in either case. And then what we do is we credit that $250 back to them if they choose to go ahead and work with us. So it's like a bit of extra incentive. They feel like, oh, well, if I do choose to work with you guys, the mapping and the audit hasn't really cost me anything.
Yeah.
Just I'm paying whatever the cost of the thing is anyway.
Great.
Whereas if they do want to take the mapping session or the results of the audit to anyone else, they've paid for that value.
Yeah. Okay. So with the time we have left, I have a few other rapid fire questions that I think you'll have a really cool answers to. The first one is, in the thousands of agencies, literally, that you've seen under the hood of, what is the coolest offer you've ever seen?
Reputation management. Building a system to handle new reviews coming in. But in terms of actually selling it and getting someone signed up for the first time, you can go to all their existing customers they already have. You're not having to rely on the people that trickle through regularly. You can say, let's go to all these hundreds or thousands of people you've already got and put them through what is effectively a database reactivation.
Yeah.
But focused on generating reviews from past customers.
Yeah.
And doing that within the first 30 days and getting just a big spike in reviews from 0 new people. It's all people they've already got.
Yeah.
And then having that then increase their conviction and obviously want to continue paying for it moving forward.
Okay.
That's something that I've seen do really well.
Anything else that comes to mind, like a super unique one?
There's a client that we work with in the paving industry. They've built quite an elaborate system around quoting and accepted quotes and invoicing, and
nice.
it's quite techy and in the weeds.
Yeah.
These guys are both from paving backgrounds themselves. They understand what needs to happen.
Yes.
They understand
this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The deeper, you go 3 steps deeper than every other agency on the 2 to 3 features that that they actually want. And sometimes it's that little bit farther is an extra 80 hours of work, 100, 200 hours of really figuring out how to dial it in perfectly.
Yeah.
But that work, you've now compressed how much time it takes to send the quote, accept the quote, etc. in the field, which is what they're paying you for every month.
Yeah. They're using a variety of different tools to try and string everything together and automate this quoting process.
Yeah.
And we've been effectively able to rebuild it largely just in HighLevel.
If you're not in that industry, but you happen to get one of these clients that you build for, maybe they don't want to resell, and you'd be like, hey, you want to partner on this? Or, hey, I'm going to go sell this to other people. Is that cool?
Yeah.
The market research you're able to do there is super powerful.
Absolutely.
The next question I have is, of all of the thousands of features inside of HighLevel, which one have you seen change people's lives the most?
Probably has to be workflows, which is probably the most boring answer I could possibly give. It's just the time saving and the amount that you can actually really do with workflows.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think workflows and it's oh, I send an autoresponder email or oh, I add an opportunity to a pipeline. Workflows just go so deep and there's so much that you can do with them. and there's so much more that you can keep doing with them even after you feel like you've done everything
Yeah.
that you thought you could do. There's still more. So workflows is one that just I think continues to compound in how valuable they can be. And workflows obviously touch like every other part of the software as well. Workflows, I think, really is like the heart of HighLevel in many ways.
And is there a cool intro foot in the door offer and way to describe that offer that you've seen crush it pretty much across the board?
Yeah, anything that directly affects making money, to be honest, wherever there's like the shortest gap between whatever the thing is and then the business making more money, say automating social media posting. It's a nice foot in the door offer, but it's a little bit more of a gap between automating a social media post and actually generating more revenue as a result of that. Whereas something like speed to lead or reputation management, even, there's a much shorter gap between responding to leads quickly and then making more money as a result. Or having hundreds of 5-star reviews on Google and then making more money as a result.
Yeah, how close can you get to the money? And then my other question is, do you personally respond to every single comment on your Facebook right now, or is someone on your team doing that?
It's all me.
Are you gonna keep doing that for the rest of your life?
I might. I don't know. It might be that I respond to fewer comments overall or fewer posts overall.
Your brain has got to be fried, dude.
Yeah,
It's
not. I mean,
the most basic thing you're responding to, and it's like the most comprehensive. I'm like, bro, I know that took you 5 minutes to type out, and I know you don't need the money from that.
It's funny though, because that person that I'm responding to probably will never pay me anything.
Yeah.
But it's the other people that see the comments that then reach out and they say what you said, and they're like, I've seen all your comments this week.
Yeah.
I've seen your comments for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
You responded to everything. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. So we've talked about my biggest hot take with HighLevel. What's yours?
Mine would be, before you even open HighLevel to start building anything, you should take the time to map it out or write it down first and to simplify it visually. Because if you spend more time doing that up front, you'll find that the build itself is an awful lot less overwhelming. You're able to focus on just the bits you're actually interested in, rather than getting distracted with every shiny object and every feature.
Yeah.
If you've already determined ahead of time exactly what it is you're planning to build and how you want to build it, then when you log into HighLevel and see 3 other cool features that have got nothing to do with your map and your plan, they become a lot less distracting, and you're much less likely to get sucked down those rabbit holes.
Yeah.
You can just spend the time with the probably 2 or 3 features that are actually relevant to what you're trying to do. I think that's really important for basically anyone, especially beginners, but even people at the most advanced levels of using HighLevel. And after having done now so many different mapping sessions for myself and other people and their projects, the way that I actually simplify the mapping process is just in asking 2 questions: what's next and what if? They're the 2 questions that you ask through the mapping process. It's a sequence of what next questions, and then you want to be able to use your own brain and your own sort of gut instinct and your own experience to then strategically insert what if questions.
Nice.
Say you get to a certain point in the process where it could potentially branch out in a couple of different directions, or it might be dependent on something that happened previously.
Beautiful in its simplicity.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a 17-year-old high school dropout. You've run a stressful business. You've quit that business to get a job, and now you run a slightly less stressful business, maybe a lot more less stressful business.
Much less stressful.
Yeah. If you could go back and tell 17-year-old Jonah anything, what would you tell him?
I probably wouldn't try and change anything from the last 10 years. It's okay. You're kind of going to get there.
Yeah.
If I maybe might give myself some kind of a time frame, because it's felt like it's been a long time. And there's been a lot of instances where I've wondered, like, how much longer is this going to take?
Yeah.
How much longer is it going to take before I get to this point where I'm not so stressed anymore? And so I might give myself a hint as to how much longer it might take.
Yeah.
But I probably wouldn't try and change anything.
Love it. They say being an expert is just having made every single mistake in a very narrow field.
Yeah.
So I think you spent the last 10 years doing that.
Yeah.
And
another
now
mistake.
the come up will be very fast.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Thanks, man. This was really fun.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Thank you.